All right, let's move over to the one and only Rory Jennings, Mr. Chelsea superfan extraordinaire, and another person who is known to be a massive waffler and a backflipper. Rory Jennings urges England fans to get behind Gareth Southgate at Euro 2024 against the Netherlands. What's going on, Toski? Realist. I don't know about realist. I'm just doing my thing, man, but appreciate that. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. Donny's very special. Ever since he had that heat with the beef with Agal a few weeks ago, I'm just like, I don't know if I take him seriously or not, but Don Delusion or Don Deflection, whatever they call him these days, it is what it is. Just let's just look at some of these comments here before we get into this. Rory's the biggest hypocrite going. Rory's the kind of guy who actually pisses on you and tells you it's raining. What a prat, so he can moan the most and shout the loudest, but as soon as he decides not to do that, you must instantly follow his suit. If Rory is talking, I know he's saying something idiotic. Rory flip-flop Jennings. Rory wanted Southgate sacked in the group stages, and now that he's in the semi-final, he's his biggest fan. We'll look at that. We definitely will look at that. Let's have a quick listen here first. Again, 1.25 speed. Let's get kick on.
God, you can probably hear it. England are making me lose my voice because every moment that they are bringing up, it goes mad because, you know, it's usually right in the last knock-ins of the game. There's so much on the line. There's so much drama. I don't think I'm going to make it to the end of the
as if it's tactical. I honestly think that Southgate's approaching a lot of these games as if they're 120 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think his actual approach pre-match is that the game is 120 minutes. He's not viewing the game through the same lens that you are. You're viewing the game as a 90-minute match, aren't you?
Yeah,
I honestly think that he's approaching the game as if it's 120 minutes long.
Why, though? Because of his experience now as a tournament manager?
Yeah,
do you think that comes into play?
I do. I think that he has now cast aside any belief that installing some sort of ideology in these players to play in his system to try and make sure that the philosophy of Southgateism is applied. I don't think it's about that for him anymore at all. I think that he has worked out that you can quite easily be valiant losers. England could easily come home with our heads held high. Chests out, chin up. England have been beaten and we're unlucky. And basically, Ollie, every single tournament of my youth...
Did he just say... Wait, did he just say England can be valiant losers? What?
I don't think it's about that for him anymore at all. I think that he has worked out that you can quite easily be valiant losers. England could easily come home with our heads held high. Chests out, chin up. England have been beaten and we're unlucky. And basically...
Fuck. Bro, if you're Romania, if you're an Albania making it through to the stages, if you're a Serbia, if you were someone of these lesser first-timers in European competitions, let's say, or one of the minnows, right? You make it through to a quarter, make it through to a semi, fair enough, you can say, you know, we did well, we held our heads up high. Bruv, this is the England national team. La Liga Player of the Year, Bellingham. England Premier League Player of the Year, Phil Foden. Starboy, Saka. Right back of the world, Trent, or you can choose between Kyle Walker if you want. You've got Jordan Pickford, you know, the penalty master. I can't stand Pickford, not because he's an Evertonian, but because he's just Jordan Pickford. You've got also Cole Palmer, you know, standout player of the Premier League last season. You got Harry Kane, best striker in the world, yeah? You've got all these players. You got Declan Rice, you know, one of the best DMs in the Premier League, arguably the best player for Arsenal last season, yeah? Kobe Mainoo, up-and-coming youngster for Manchester United, again in the... You've got all these great players, and you want to say we can lose and be valiant losers. What drugs is this guy on?
Basically, Ollie, every single tournament of my youth, that's what happened. England went out of the tournament in my youth valiantly every time. Yep. Whether it was Gareth Southgate's penalty miss, whether it was us, you know, thinking and almost like longfully pining for Paul Gascoigne to be an inch taller so that he could tap in that.
Wait. Valiantly coming back with heads held high. Bro, they got absolutely roasted when they got knocked out in France 98 when I remember that. Because I remember watching that tournament. I would have been 10 years old at the time. I remember watching that. I remember when they got knocked out in 2002 when Brazil beat them with Ronaldinho's famous free kick over David Seaman. I remember that. They got scolded for that shit. And they never left with their heads up high. What's he on about?
that open goal against Germany
And
in
it was poor
'96.
old England, wasn't it? On
Exactly.
penalties
Whether it's
again.
Stuart Pearce's penalty, we were unlucky, we were valiant losers. Whether it was Sol Campbell's header that was ruled out in St Etienne against Argentina in '98, again we were valiant losers. Portugal twice, 2 consecutive tournaments. You know, in that Benfica stadium against Benfica, when their keeper, what's his name, Ricardo, took off his gloves, we came home with our heads held high. And I think that Gareth Southgate has looked at it and worked out that there is no point in being valiant losers because effectively you're just seen as being losers here. We don't respect the art of losing. We just
All right, well, fuck what I just said because he's absolutely just refuted everything I've said. I thought he was going to go on the train that, you know, we can be valiant losers. Let's go for it. Okay, well, fuck me. Maybe I should have paid attention first and watched these before I spoke. But that's what happens when it's live, boys and girls. You win some, you lose some. But this is why we say we keep it real. Because when I say I put my hands up, I say, well, I got that one wrong. Maybe I got that one wrong. But let's keep listening anyways.
call you a loser.
And now we've become Big Moments FC. And I absolutely love it. And actually, you know what? You can look at these performances by England, and obviously there's been so much heat. There's been so much debate. There's been a lot of misery at times. There's been people, you know, fiercely against Gareth Southgate's tactics. But something you have to give him credit for, I really think, is that he's instilled a belief in these players. This England team doesn't know when it's beaten. And the England teams you just described there, I think, did know when they were beaten. I think there was almost an inevitability about it. Whereas in this tournament with this England team, when we went behind, I don't know about you, but I kind of wasn't worried.
No,
I knew there would be one moment that would bring England back into this game, and it came through Bukayo Saka. What a goal, by the way.
I know, what a play.
We'll get on Bukayo Saka soon, but like, why has England become big moments England? Like, they should be winning games. Like, oh, they came back against Slovakia with Bellingham, or Slovenia, whoever it was, with the overhead kick. It's like, why did you have to wait to the 94th minute to score a goal, a banging goal, mind you, a clutch moment when you had 94 minutes prior to that to do something in that game? Why did it come to that final minute for you guys to do something? That was the point that people are trying to make out there. It's like, yeah, we won, but why the hell did we need to wait for injury time? And then why do we need to wait for extra time to score our guys? Why could we not do it within the 90 minutes? Get it done. Don't worry about doing late heroics and all that sort of shit. Yeah, it's mad for the papers, the thrills and all that sort of shit. Fuck that. Win the game within 90 minutes. Plain and simple. Win the game within the 90 minutes. That's all you got to do. That's it.
What a player.
What a player. How many players can you say this about? They're not equally good, but they're capable of being fantastic on the right wing and left back. Like that's probably the first time you've said that about any footballer ever. Who on earth would be a wonderful right winger and a wonderful left back? Not very many. Like, I mean, it just demonstrates the brilliance of Bukayo Saka, doesn't it? But look, there was certainly a moment in the game in Gelsenkirchen when we were losing to Slovakia where I felt like it was over. I didn't necessarily believe that there was a way back into the game. But off the back of Jude Bellingham finding a way in the most exciting and unpredictable fashions, yeah, I wasn't too worried. I think that gave a belief, certainly to me, but maybe to the team as well, that we do have a never say die attitude, and we have the ability now to find a way. So playing well and ultimately going out. You know, people have been telling me that various teams have played well this tournament. People were constantly telling me that Germany were a better team. They look fantastic when they battered Scotland. Portugal, if you look at their players on paper, aren't they wonderful? They're at home. There are 4 teams left in this tournament, and we're one of them. Yep. And we have not an easy draw in the semi-final, but a favourable draw in the semi-final. We've avoided the 2 teams that we wanted to avoid. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of reason to be upbeat. And for now, at least, let's just suspend. I'm not saying that it's wrong or right, but let's just suspend the criticism of Gareth Southgate. Let's just put that aside for a few days.
Calling for full backing now. Full backing for Southgate.
I am. I think it's
Are you
important.
saying that that's because there's no point in moaning now?
Well, there is no point in moaning. Yeah. There is literally no point in moaning. England have the biggest game that we've had certainly for 3 years in a couple of days' time. So for you and I now to sit here and pick apart Gareth Southgate's approach to the game, for us to say that his subs were all wrong, for us to say that his starting lineup was cowardly, for us to say that he doesn't make the substitutions that we need, for us to say that he is maybe a little bit of a he will bow down to players because of their prestige rather than their performance. I think some of that is true. But what is the point of us now dragging Gareth Southgate over the coals, pulling apart his squad selection, pulling apart his team selection, pulling apart his substitutions? For what? To what end? How is that beneficial? Does it help?
No.
Does it help? Does it help? Why would we nitpick and criticize Gareth Southgate now when it comes to... Did I say Gareth Bale before? I don't know, maybe. Gareth Southgate. Why would we nitpick, or I say we, like England fans nitpick? I mean, you still have to play the Netherlands, and then depending on what happens in that game, I mean, they've been looking decent going forward. England hadn't given me nothing, man. I ain't seen England do much moving forward. It's side to side, backwards. Kane's playing a second DM for whatever reason. You've got no one in the box to receive a cross. When a cross is coming from Saka, who seems to be the most effective on that right wing before he gets switched to left back or left wing back, and then Palmer comes on that right side or whatever. If it's not Kyle Walker getting skinned and being left for dead, I don't know why 36-year-old Kyle Walker is playing when he got prime 25-year-old Trent Alexander-Arnold, who can play right wing back, and he's played right wing back for Liverpool for half a decade now. Why would you not use him in that position? That's beyond me. Big up Olu. How you going, buddy? Why would you not want to use, these players that are meant to be used in these positions? Yeah, trying to fit Foden in the center when he's not being effective, and then when he's out on the left, he's very much ineffective. And Bellingham, he's playing left wing when Foden's taking the central role. He's trying to do this rotation thing. It just doesn't work. I don't know why Gareth Southgate would be criticised. I wonder why. But this was Rory Jennings just 18 hours ago posted. Yeah, this was him 2 weeks ago. Let me zoom this in for you, just so you guys can read that with a little bit more clarity. Southgate must be sacked tonight. And that was 2 weeks ago, 21st of June. England have limped to another uninspiring result, this time drawing 1-1 with Denmark. Gareth Southgate again got it wrong, and England look further away from winning Euro 2024 than we ever have. But now he wants to say that, you know what? There's actually a chance. We're close. We're in the semi-final. We can make it now. We're not that far away. I get that there's a change of tone where new information provides a new outlook and you have a different perspective, yeah? But how can you go from the extremity of sack him tonight to, well, let's get behind him because there's no point in moaning, and if he loses, well, we did our best. I don't know if England fans are going to take that. Or if he's saying, as he says, we used to be going out with our heads valiantly held high. Now it's like, no, you failed. You need to own up to your shit. And this next golden generation, or the amount of players that they've got now, the team that they've got, where they've got world beaters in their squad, they've got World Cup winners, they've got not World Cup winners, sorry, bloody hell, that's England I'm talking about. Oh, he's had a mare. He's had an absolute mare. Not World Cup winners, Champions League winners, league title winners with their respective clubs, yeah? When you've got players that have won trophies, when you've got players who know how to get over the line, and then you're saying to them, well, if you don't make it through, then who cares? It's not it, man. Thank you, Fonzie. 100 man. If I did this on StreamYards, I would highlight it out 100%. He says, I'm an advocate of opinions can change. When they change as much as Rory's, though, he's just saying things for views and controversy. That sums it up quite nicely, actually, to be fair. Like I said, I want him sacked. You can say, well, there's no point now because we're in a semi-final. So, okay, we'll just leave it there. Yorkshire Gunner. What's going on, bruv? How you doing, mate? Hope you're good. There's no point in sacking him now because, well, we're in the semi-final. So what are you going to sack him, for the semi-final? Or if we make it after the semi-final, if they go through on penalties again against the Netherlands? I mean, who the hell knows? Again, you've got, champions playing for the Dutch national team against champions playing for the English national team. It's going to be interesting. Teammates playing against, teammates and the like. I don't know what's going to happen. But again, Fonzie is right. When your opinions changed so much like Rory's do, you got to say to yourself, this guy is literally taking the piss right now. And he's known as a flip-flopper. He is actually known to be a flip-flopper. And I don't hate Rory or anything like that. I'm just clowning on his comments and his ability to just flip-flop. And for the love of fucking anything holy in audio, please clean your mic filter, please, man. Just clean the windsock, yeah? Just give it a nice little clean rub down. I'm sick of seeing the white fluff on that damn fucking SM7B windsock, yeah? Anyways, let's see what he says here after the draw.
I'm heartbroken. I was so optimistic. I truly believe that there was something special in this England team, and most frustratingly, I still do. But we just see so many mistakes, so many issues with our manager. The distinct lack of tactical acumen, the distinct lack of the ability to master the art of tactics. And there is a major issue with what England are doing. Time and time again, we have seen England outthought by opposition managers. An elite tactician often works Gareth Southgate out. And there is a constant theme of England struggling now. Wherever you think it is, why do England constantly take the lead, constantly do well, constantly go 1-0 up, and then constantly bottle it, constantly throw it away?
Or why do they concede first and then have to score late in the game to draw the game, to take it to extra time, to take it to penalties? There's the other toss of the coin there as well. There's always the two sides to it. Well, holy hell. Man's talking about tactics, but he says, let's get behind Gareth Southgate. So he's played like absolute shit against lesser teams. arguably got lucky against some of the opposition there, if not for a worldie from Bellingham, if not for a moment of brilliance from Saka the other day, yeah? If not for that, just, turn of fortune, going out again on, going through on penalties, Trent scoring the winning penalty. I mean, the man's known for taking penalties, so big up to Trent there, Scouser in the team and all that. But why would we not complain about Southgate's approach when there's a very important match to be had? So he says he's got no tactical awareness. He doesn't know how to play his plays, doesn't know what he's doing. But let's get behind him. Let's back the team. Let's make it. It's like, let's go. Let's make it happen. It's like, bro, why? Why? I don't understand. Fonzie says, I lied, actually, it's not just Don I find unbearable, it's the whole panel of the club. I'm so sad. Wizzy, yeah, Hugh Wizzy joined as well. That was a bit of an interesting one there. I didn't expect that to happen. So you've got Rory Jennings, you've got Boovy, who's the Man City fan, you've got McCullough, who's the United fan. They don't have a Liverpool rep as far as I know. Hugh Wizzy's on there as the Arsenal fan. And I don't know who else is there. Obviously, Lawrence McKenna used to be part of that group when they were doing the kickoff with True Geordie. And that's where a lot of these boys came about. There's actually a good little doco. I think it's the Fat Mima. I think his name is. He's got a channel. It's called the Fat Mima, like PHAT Fat. Like in what movie is it? Chris Tucker says that you're fat. PHAT, pretty hot and tempting. Anyways, Fat Mima. He's got a little video that's 50 minutes long that goes through the rise and fall of the kickoff and what they did after and all that sort of shit. Very interesting watch. Do check it out. Yeah, they're a part of that. I don't watch much of the club these days. It's just Rory and McCullough or Boovy or whoever it is that they're ganging up against getting overexcited. That's what it is.
And there is now no doubt that it is the manager, because time and time again we have seen England go to pot from a winning position.
So it is the manager now. It is the manager. So it's the manager's fault. But let's back the manager now. Let's back him because we're in a semi-final. How are the turntables?
Go to pot from a privileged position. And the second that we come up against a manager who is capable of the tactical tweak. Think back over the years, by the way. This isn't a modern thing. This isn't even about today. Think back. Do you know what? We can go all the way back to Russia. What happened in Russia? England went 1-0 up. We had the opportunity of going 2-0 up. We didn't take it. And we were then outthought by a tactician, a master tactician, a shrewd opposition in Croatia worked out that if you pin our fullbacks back, you can outnumber us in midfield, and Kovacic and Modric can dictate the tempo of the game and ultimately take the game to England. They did that by pinning our fullbacks back. What happened a couple of years later when we played in a final at Wembley? We played against Italy in a final. We're playing at home in a final, in a packed Wembley Stadium against a very beatable Italian team.
Yeah,
against an Italian team, by the way, who didn't qualify for either World Cup, either side.
Poor freeze frame, but yes, I'm happy to say that Macedonia beat them as well, and they stopped them from qualifying from the previous Euros, so we're pretty happy about that. And it was Trajkovski scoring in Palermo as well when he used to play there, so good stuff all around. Anyways, let's continue.
Of that tournament, and what happened? Mancini beat Southgate. Mancini battered Southgate. Mancini somehow worked out that Jorginho was a better player than Mason Mount and managed to dictate the tempo of the game and get his side a victory. What happened again in Qatar? What happened in the Nations League when we were relegated? Like time and time again, we have seen it. And ultimately, we haven't got a chance, have we? This tournament isn't working. We aren't playing well. It isn't happening. Nothing is going our way. And let's be totally honest.
Oh, what? Let's go back one more time. Let's see that one more time.
And get his side a victory. What happened again in Qatar? What happened in the Nations League when we were relegated? Like time and time again, we have seen it. And ultimately, we haven't got a chance, have we? This tournament isn't working. We aren't playing well. It isn't happening. Nothing is going our way. And let's be totally honest. Our hopes in this tournament hang by a balance.
Hang by a balance. Let's go back one more time. Let's go.
Pick apart Gareth Southgate's approach to the game. For us to say that his subs were all wrong. For us to say that his starting lineup was cowardly. For us to say that he doesn't make the substitutions that we need. For us to say that he is maybe a little bit of a... he will bow down to players because of their prestige rather than their performance. I think some of that is true. But what is the point of us now dragging Gareth Southgate over the coals, pulling apart his squad selection, pulling apart his team selection, pulling apart his substitutions? For what? To what end? How is that beneficial? Does it help?
No. Can I ask?
He fucking did all that 2 weeks ago. He did all that 2 weeks ago. But anyone wants to say, that's not beneficial. That's not helpful. We shouldn't be doing that at all. Bruv, you did that. You did that right here. Oh, that poor freeze frame. Yeah, cool. There we go. You did that right here. Saying he's going to get outdone. We have no chance in hell. We should be out of this. Yeah, paraphrasing, all that sort of stuff. But then here he wants to say, no, we should back him, because, what's the point of picking apart his subs and his tactics and everything else? Let's just back the team and hope for the best. Yay! Coming up against Ronald Koeman and a red-hot Netherlands. Cody Gakpo on fire. Van Dijk in the defence. Yes, you've got people like Dumfries. You've got people like Depay, who's up top. Who's the player that scored 2 goals? Damn, I forgot his name. He only scored 2 goals. He scored the 2 goals against Turkey, whatever it was. Was it against Turkey recently? I think it was about Turkey. Yeah. Okay, it's not the Holland of yesteryear, but still, you've got De Vrij in there. You've got Van de Ven playing as well. Look, truth be told, I don't know the players completely, but I do know that the Netherlands are a decent team. Coming up against England, who would you back? England or the Netherlands? That is the question to have here. Now, I know I'm short on time. I did say an hour, like I said, famous last words. But let's have a quick look here at what was said about Bukayo Saka. Before we look at this as well here, this is funny. Arsenal fans love doing this, and to be fair, all fans love doing this of their respective clubs when a player performs well. So it says here, from Who Scored, Declan Rice has made more tackles, 16, than any other midfielder at the Euro 2024, and Bavs, being an Arsenal fan, says best DM in the world, and it's not even close. Why do people say these over-inflammatory statements on platforms like Twitter? For clicks, for likes, for the attention, to gas themselves up? Why do people do this? It annoys me when people say, oh, Trent, best right back in the world. I'm like, is he? You can probably argue by the numbers. Yeah, he is. But is he really? I don't know. What are we comparing him against? Who are we comparing him with? When you're looking at DMs in the world, you have to say Rodri's most likely up there. And of course, in the comments, you're looking and saying, even Manchester United fans, Rodri, defensive midfielder specifically, Rice is miles clear defensively. What? 47 replies back. That's a ratio and a half. If Rodri isn't a defensive midfielder, then Rice is a centre-back. Holy shit, Babs. You've had an absolute nightmare with this one. Holy fuck. What has Babs done here? What have you done, Babs? Bruv. Defensive... Surely Rodri's midfielder. I'm pretty sure he plays DM. Midfielder. Yep, cool, midfielder. Who plays? Yeah, who plays as a defensive midfielder for Premier League club Manchester United. What the fuck? What the fuck? Where's Maxim Buddy when you need him? What the fuck is this? Wow. Rice as a DM, brilliant for Arsenal, not so great for England. Rodri is brilliant defensively everywhere he plays. You look very... Rodri is a defensive midfielder. That's a playmaker at the same time. Rodri is the best player in the world, not just best CDM. Holy shit. Stats say from last season, otherwise, on the contrary, Rodri's miles clears in every area. Stop being sentimental. Holy shit, man. So Rice is the blue and Rodri is the pink, bro. This sums it up nicely. Bros just says things great at pissing people off and getting reactions. Though give you that. That's worthy of a like. That's why Arteta plays Jorginho. Oh, bro, that's an absolute nightmare take from Babs here. Holy shit. Rice is miles clear defensively. Bro, this massive cope. Babs has an absolute nightmare here. But that's not what we're looking at discussing here. Before we get to the Brazilian stuff, let's have a look at this here. So, from the reports here on Saka, which is why he's in the thumbnail, yeah? Saka plays 25 minutes in a 1-0 loss to Iceland in a friendly. The newspapers playing awful, lose to Iceland. It's all him. He's a bad. Maybe had a bad game. Cool. Saka scores a late equaliser in the Euros quarterfinal, scores in the shootout and wins man of the match. Newspapers have approach. They've got players celebrating the shootout, running with the shootout, celebrating, and this makes sense. Yes, Babs at it again, Martin. Now this makes sense because it wasn't Saka that scored the winning goal for the win. If that was the winning goal, then obviously he'd be on the cover. When it's a penalty shootout, I think, I don't know, Fons, he gave me a bit of a shout. Obviously, reacting to his stuff. I do have my grievances. I don't dislike him. I don't hate him. I just have some questions and like a bit of why do you do this, etc., etc. The time difference sucks. I'm not prepared to be waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. to be jumping on stream anytime soon. However, on the weekend, if there are some games or whatever it is, we'll see what happens. I don't know yet. I'm not adverse to it. Timing sucks at the moment, Fonzie, so we'll see what happens. And when it comes to this sort of stuff here, scoring late equalizer, shootouts and all that sort of stuff, it's about the team. It's about the shootout. It's not about Saka. Saka got you the equalizer, but the shootout was won later on with the help of Trent scoring the winning penalty, with Foden, with Saka stepping up again for the penalty, when it also comes to Pickford having the saves and all that sort of shit there. And there were some good pictures of him as well. Nothing wrong with that there. This is so stupid. He's too dark. If they use him, it won't be good. This is such a fucking stupid take here. I honestly hate this all racism type of thing because it's not. You've got players here that are black and white in the covers. Look, Ivan Toney's there running around all over the place. Is that Ezzy, number 20, 21, whoever it is? I don't know who they are. They're all there. What the fuck are they talking about? I said something like, he invited me on the show, basically to have a bit of a chit chat, hash it out or whatever before a game or post match or whatever it is. I don't know. I'll see what happens. Like I said, timing is a bit shit. I think it's on his stream though. I think it was after the Turkey game when Turkey lost. So if you look at that's about the 40-minute mark, you'll probably find it on there. No beef. Just a few differences, shall we say. This shit I don't understand. Why would people think that there is something there, like there's an agenda against him? And when we cry racism, we're unbearable. I mean, where is the racism here? Like, sorry, did Saka not perform in the Iceland game? I know there's a team of 11 players, but like, bro. Yeah, Saka with the equaliser, man of the match, England's highest goal scorer in a major tournament. This the picture they chose. Yes, winning a shootout. What's wrong with this? What is genuine? I'm actually asking, what is wrong with this? Shows his number, but not his face. Nasty work. Bro, the picture that was taken, he happens to be behind the arm there. What do you want him to do? Remove it? Bro. Seriously. That's not even a negative video. I just do commentary. That's all it is. It's just commentary shit, man. He does videos on other people as well. Do people ask why he does negative videos on them? Get out of here. Anyways. The story is England's team wins a penalty shootout. It's not Saka scores it. Here we go. Yes, correct. Correct. This is it here. The story is England team wins a penalty shootout. It's not Saka scores an equaliser and played well. If he scored a hat-trick and won the game, that would be different. Exactly right. 100%. He would absolutely put it. That Saka would be bells and whistles and kitted out and everything in between. Saka would be the star of the newspapers. He would be everywhere. But what the fuck is this? Get the fuck out of here with these stupid ads. Fuck off. Stink over decision. Like, are all these people like Arsenal fans or something? Newcastle United, bro. Who cares? 1 white player, 3 black players. What's exactly your point here? You suggest that the English media aren't racist. They just hate Saka for no reason. Saka bottom left. Bro, there's nothing wrong with Saka being there. But I honestly, I'm trying to understand why there is a massive issue here. Why there is this whole thing of, they're against Saka. It's racism against Saka, whatever. Like, England player of the year, last 2 years, talking about blah, blah, blah. So he was sent a statement of penalty lineup. So what? He let the first white penalty taken, then the rest of them mixed or black? What is this fucking stupid shit, man? I don't disagree, Martin. I don't disagree at all. But what I'm saying is, Saka is not the story here. England winning the shootout is the story. They could have made a little feature of him in there as well and say Saka helped contribute to the win and all that sort of stuff. But for people to be shitty and moaning and groaning why Saka wasn't in the picture in the title. That to me is odd. Yeah, this title here is a bit weird. Black Ice. Like, I don't understand what that title is about there. Honestly, I'm scratching my head on that one. Scratching my head there. Whenever we lost, they plaster Saka everywhere. We win. You don't hate journalists enough. Like, fuck, man. Do you understand how this shit works? Systemic, endemic. Like, why is it all... I say this as a Slavic person. Someone who has... Well, my people, my generations. I don't know. Apparently we're people of color. Apparently we're... I don't know what we are. We're white, but we're not white. I don't know. Anyways, right? I see this shit, I'm thinking to myself, so what? So what? English media hate Saka so much. I don't get it. I honestly don't understand this. Say, the media knows what triggers people, just don't pay any attention to them. That's fair. Plain disgrace. All the media outlets pull up their headlines should be boycotted. Hard copy, soft copy. I've never seen so much like hate towards the media than this here with Saka not getting the plaudits or not being seen in a positive light or whatever. Don't know. Hate the British media. White supremacist propaganda will never champion black people. It's a waste of energy to even be shocked by this. Bro, what in the fuck? Wow. Sure, if Saka's face was on one of them, that wouldn't have been the worst thing. Why don't support this country? I guess, right, they weren't using Saka. Saad's in this. This is not surprising at all. Saka's been the poster boy for when things have been shit for England for a minute now, but yet again, he is one who saves England criticism throughout this tournament, but when he was the one who was performing. You said earlier in Al Hawa, you admitted he's underperformed. He's underperformed to his own standards, but has been the best attacker for England. That's fair enough. That's why it's not fun running rivals' agendas on players anymore. Just fuels these racist new outlets. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not looking at things properly. Maybe I just look at these things. I think maybe it's not a big deal. Like, who cares? It's players just doing their thing. Racism in English media, not even surprised. They even slapped Trent on there. I'm telling you, light skin is... I think being light skin is back in. It's like 2012 again. What? Honestly, man, I don't like Spurs fan. A Spurs fan, sorry, Tottenham fan. Yeah, fuck Tottenham. Fucking hell, I need to sleep. Arsenal fan. Random guy. What's he see? Arsenal fan. Fucking is it Arsenal? North London's biggest Glimt fan. I don't know what that. I'm guessing that's. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm lost. I don't. People help me out live or in replay. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. If Saka scored the winning goal and he didn't get shown on reports, I'd say 100%. No doubt, something's a bit fishy there. Something's wrong. He needs to be on there. He needs to be. He is the person that saved you. They could have at least given him a little something, man. But there's Trent there with the winning penalty. England go through the semis in perfect shootout. Penalty joy. England go through the semis, so they got, Trent with the winning penalty. They got the boys all around there celebrating. Is that Trent and Bellingham in the picture there? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not that critical when it comes to this whole racism thing. Maybe it's because I'm not English. Maybe because I don't see it. I just don't know how everyone can be so like tapped into this one focus where it's an agenda. The media doesn't like him. The British media hate him. It's like, bro, you best believe if he scores you the winning goal against Holland, if there's no reports of him in big picture and everything else like that, then I'll be scratching my head thinking, okay, something's wrong here. But as it stands, it looks like they're celebrating the overall penalty win, not so much the individual equalizer that he had to pull off. So That's just my 2 cents, man. Fonzie says, racing born into the middle of the English. They may not be conquering countries, but they're always ready to attack easy targets. So I say agenda's going to agenda, man. Agenda is going to agenda. So it's a bit of a shit go. But I don't know, man. I mean, Saka hasn't been doing that badly. I mean, okay, he hasn't really been performing in terms of goals or assists or anything like that. But surely he's been, you know, arguably England's one of their best players. Consistently dangerous. But I watched that game against fuck, did they play in the semi the other day? Switzerland. That's right. They played against Switzerland. I watched the game first half. Everything was going to him on that right wing, bang, bang, bang. But just nothing was working, and ultimately he just a little tap in and then bang off that left foot. Thanks for coming. It's a great equalizer. Great equalizer. I don't know. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe that's my bad. I just don't see why this is a big thing. If he scored the winning goal and they didn't show him as the main person in the picture, then I'm going to be scratching my head as well and saying, okay, something's going on here. As it stands, it's a penalty shootout. It was looking at the team with the penalties, and that is that. And even this picture here, they got John Stones as the bigger picture on there, man. I don't know. Maybe they expect Saka to fail. Maybe they expect a lot of Saka. I don't know. I don't know.